Hi guys, this is Michelle Nicolaisen with bombshell.com, and today I am going to show you how I reorganized and set up my productivity system using Flow. It's partially a review of Flow, but I've already kind of done that. So this is going to be less about the features of Flow and more about the process that I used to switch over from a tool that was not working for me to one that was working for me. So first off, I'm just going to show you the basic structure of how I set up Flow. You can see this is like my business stuff right here. I've got content creation, business development, and administrative under Bombshell. I've got marketing and promotion under a different folder instead of just under Bombshell because there are so many different things that go under that. I have a folder set up for client work, a folder set up for workshops and classes, a folder set up for back burner projects, which I'm going to go into more in a second, and a folder set up for templates because Flow has a feature where you can duplicate a task list. And so like the next time I do a teleclass, I can duplicate it, rename the list so that it's appropriate to whatever the topic of the teleclass is, and then just drag it under workshops and classes. Now, the back burner projects, I have these three lists, the how-to manuals, the biz dev and systems, and the admin. Those are going to be explained more in a minute, but the rest of these are things that are what I would like to work on, but they're not necessarily high priority. So like as things get freed up, I'll drag it under, Bombshell, I'll drag it under some place where my current projects are, but until then, it's kind of like when I have a couple minutes, when I've got a spare couple of hours in a day, I can check back through here and see if there's anything I want to do. Okay, so that's the basic structure. The way that I started switching things over from Teambox, because part of the problem that I was having with Teambox, and I'm going to go into all of this in much more detail in the accompanying blog post that's going to be like text and photo based, and I'll include a link in the video description to that. But part of the problem that I had with Teambox is that it didn't have recurring tasks. So I was having to continually manually enter them, and when you're already kind of like in this stressed out, disorganized state, which I was for several reasons, that's not feasible. So the first thing I did was create a list of recurring tasks. And this is just a picture of, the notebook where I was scratching all this down. So I split it up according to day because that's a system that I've used that's worked before really well for me. And I've got a blog post about that too, which I'll link to. So you can see, write and schedule newsletter on Thursdays. Wednesdays is one video post, one blog post, a guest post. Tuesday and Thursday is supposed to be mostly client work. This next week, it's not necessarily like that because I'm still getting caught up on stuff. I scheduled in Coursera homework on Monday and Friday. Monday is inbox zero and admin work, and Friday is biz dev, right? So that's the first thing I did. After that, I created a list of templates that I needed to put in, and some of them I already had in some of them I already had in Teambox, some of them I didn't. I just created a list of everything that I do over and over again. You can see there's workshops, there's action parties, there's the one-day intensive, there's a one-off class like the Systems Don't Suck class that I ran recently, there's a teleclass, meaning like a free teleclass, there's client intake for project management clients, there's launch management, the basic launch management package, and all of these have everything that goes into it. So as I'm creating the templates, I noted down one-off tasks that I could put that would add to systemization. So I create all these templates, and so I was creating the Systems Streamliner template. And you can see right here, I've put the Systems Streamliner templates. I have that intake questionnaire, or the Service Streamliner. I have that intake questionnaire, but it's currently somewhere in my email. So put it in Google Docs is one step, and then actually put it into Google Forms or Typeform is another step. So all of those tasks went under back burner into biz dev and systems or into admin. The other thing that I did as I was creating the templates for these various services and activities is I noted down which of these items would be good for creating a how-to manual so that later they can be easily delegated and easily outsourced. So you can see I noted down, creating a how-to manual for creating an email list, for setting up the shopping cart and the redirection after payment, for setting up a password-protected workshop materials page. All of that stuff got noted down, and all of that went under the how-to manuals list in the back burner projects. So you can see I've got all those right here. So then what I did is under the Bombshell project, I have these recurring tasks for writing a how-to manual every Friday and for doing 1 to 3 tasks off of the back burner for BizDev every Friday. And then under administrative, I have do 1 to 3 tasks off of the admin back burner every Monday. So every Monday, depending on how much, depending on the high priority stuff I have to do, and every Friday, I have these reminders to go through and create how-to manuals and store them in my, ops manuals and Google Docs. And I have reminders to go through and do these little tasks that if I did not actively make space for them, they would probably never get done. But since I'm actively making space for them, I'm going to be doing these things, that like can add up and make things much easier for me overall as far as systemization. And so, like, in a couple of months, when all of this is done, everything will be running much smoother. I'll have a set of how-to manuals that I can use to outsource this without me having to do it. And I've got all of these templates so that I can just copy it and then assign the tasks, and the person doing the tasks already has access to the how-to manuals. So that's kind of how I set up Flow to stay organized. That's sort of my that was my process, and that's how I've got it set up. I hope that was helpful. A couple of quick things about Flow. Like I said, I've already done a review once. Some of its features is that it's got a drag and drop calendar, so this is kind of cool because you can change the tasks. And that's one of my favorites. You can also view it in a week, which is nice, or you can view it in a day. It has a bunch of short keys, so you can start a task by just hitting enter. You can type it and tab through, and it includes short keys, and then you just hit enter, right, and that task pops up on the thing for tomorrow. There's also a key down here where you can add a new list, a new folder, or a new contact. I haven't really explored the contact functionality. You can delegate through Flow. I'm using it currently right now as just one person, but you can bring other people into your team. And I think that covers most of the basic functionality of Flow that relates to how I've been using it. So I hope this video was helpful. Again, I'm going to go through this whole process that I went through in a much more detailed blog post. So if you want to do that, if you want to read that, check out the link that'll be in the comments for the video. Thanks so much and have a great day.